video, I'll be covering how you can budget and manage your money for short-term study abroad programs. This is good for faculty-led programs and summer programs that'll be 6 to 8 weeks. For faculty-led programs, the only thing you'll really have to worry about is a few meals and then any souvenirs or shopping that you plan to do. The first thing that you should do is check out the exchange rate. This will let you know how much the US dollar is going to be in the country that you're going to. Sometimes that means that the country will be more expensive, and other times that means that the country will be less expensive. Once you do that, the next thing you should do is call your credit or debit card company and let them know that you'll be traveling. If not, they may lock your account for security reasons, and then you wouldn't have access to your money at all. This is also why it's a good reason to bring some cash with you. You'll be able to convert it at the airport, but I recommend, if possible, waiting until you get outside the airport where you'll get better rates. Regardless of the country that you go to, you should keep a mindset that nothing is free. A common tourist trap is to offer a bracelet or a flower or some other small token, and you might accept it thinking that it's free, but in actuality, they want money in return. If you don't have anything to give them, it can turn into a sticky situation. Honestly, it's best to politely decline and avoid them altogether. If you're going abroad for the summer session, you'll probably be going through external provider. Your program will usually give you a magic number, which is an amount they suggest you bring so that you can be comfortable while you study abroad. The amount is usually an overshoot, so you have room for emergencies or anything like that. So if you're under that, any is okay, but try to get as close to that amount as possible. So I know that housing is going to be included in your program cost, but meals may or may not be. If you're doing a homestay, then you're allotted so many meals and then you're responsible for the rest. If you're staying in any kind of student accommodation, like a dorm or apartment, you're going to be on your own. And so your apartments are going to be furnished in the sense that they have a bed, some dressers, a kitchen table, like a stove, that kind of stuff. But they won't have pots, pans, utensils, and stuff like that. So when it comes to food, you're going to, you can either buy out all your food and do that, but that can get expensive really fast. Or you can do a mix of like buying some food, like maybe buying lunch or maybe buying breakfast, and then do like cereal or sandwiches or salads or just quick foods for the rest. But I really wouldn't recommend furnishing your kitchen unless you absolutely need to. Maybe like one bowl, one pot, one plate, and then like plastic utensils, just the bare minimum. And I will also do the bare minimum in your room. So you're gonna have a bed, but you might not have bedding. You probably won't have bedding. So you'll have to plan to get that if they're not providing it for you. And then you really won't have decorations in your room, so maybe print out like some pictures of your friends and your families, but don't go all out because you're not going to be there that long, and it might be hard to bring that stuff back with you, so then it might be a waste to be in. Another thing that this applies to is your school supplies. Instead of waiting until you get there to get your paper and pencils and stuff like that, if you have stuff left over from the school year, just pack it in your things before you travel. That way you'll already have it with you and you don't have to spend extra money on it. A big thing that I want to go over before I get any further in the video is your phone. So when you're abroad, your current phone plan probably won't work in that country. So you're going to have a couple different options about what you do. The first option is going to be that you can get the international plan with your phone company if they offer one. And this is usually the most expensive thing to do. Second option is to get a burner phone. It can be a really cheap phone, like like a Nokia or like a flip phone, like a really small one that you just use for maybe calls and texts and stuff like that. And then just use your own phone on Wi-Fi. Or the last option is that you can get a SIM card from a phone carrier where you are and put that in your own phone, and then you'll be able to have text and call and data. And this is what I did. This is honestly the best option so that you'll be able to use everything on your phone. Like, it'll be hard to use GPS if you don't have Wi-Fi and you may be getting lost or things like that. So it's definitely what I recommend. And the phone plans can be really cheap. Like maybe get like 5 or 10 gigs of data. That shouldn't be really expensive, and then you can do it for like a month, or they 2-month plan, like you just pay by the month. So it's not a big commitment. So now that that's out the way, I'm going to talk about the other kind of categories that I used when I was studying abroad, and I recommend you to use as well. I know I did food, transportation, leisure, and I think travel. So for food, which I already talked about a little bit, you just have to plan how much you're going to spend on groceries. And when you do these categories, I would do it by week so that it's more maintainable and more realistic. So maybe you're going to spend like $40 a week on groceries. If you're not staying in on-campus housing, then you're going to have to commute. If it's a short commute, maybe a 15-minute bus ride, then I would suggest walking if it's safe. That'll save you money. Public transportation on the daily adds up, and it can also cost you. But if you are going to be using public transportation every day, then I would recommend, instead of buying like daily passes, get a bulk pass. So maybe a month pass. Like for a month, you'll have like unlimited travel, or you'll get like so many rides a week. It's the more cost-efficient solution. I mean, if there's a train available, you can see that, or yeah, maybe the train or the subway. Just look at the bulk option for it, like maybe getting a month pass, and they may have a student discount for that as well. While I'm talking about student discounts, when you're eating, like if you're eating out or maybe you're shopping or things like that, do not be afraid to ask for a student discount. Many places do offer them even overseas. And I also like to use the Unidays app. That's UNIDAYS. They're also a student discount app, and they give you a lot of good deals wherever you're located if they use it in that country. And a little bit off topic but related, your subscriptions that you have here, like your Netflix, your Hulu, you need to check and see if they are compatible in the country that you're going to. I know that when I went to England, Hulu and Disney Plus was not available in that country. So I paused my subscriptions so that I wasn't wasting my money, essentially. Now going on to leisure. This is going to include anything that you do outside of your studying, like in your free time for fun. Maybe you're going to museums or attractions or like galleries, maybe like palaces or whatever crazy stuff you want to get into in your outside time. Maybe you're going like to a bar, maybe you're going to a concert, anything like that. I throw it in the leisure category. And you just want to be realistic with yourself. You are studying abroad, but this is also a time to engage in the culture and really explore and stuff like that. So be a little bit lenient here. Maybe you're going to spend like $50 a week on leisure. I would definitely overestimate for this category just so you have enough to do some fun things. So you can lessen some of the costs by looking for free things to do, and then a lot of maybe like museums or attractions will also offer student discounts. There might be like a free concert or something like that, so you can do that stuff. But don't pass up on the once-in-a-lifetime attractions. Like if you're in China, like there might be an entrance fee for seeing the Great Wall of China. Pay it. Oh my God, please pay it. Or if you want to see the Colosseum in Rome, please pay to see it. Like, be cheap at the right time, but don't cheat yourself. So next thing that I want to talk about is the travel. 6 weeks is a short time, so you might not be able to travel to another country, but your weekends are free, and you may take a weekend trip or a day trip to go see another city in the country that you're in, or you might squeeze in other countries. It's up to you and like your course load, stuff like that. So I would definitely plan some money if you are going to travel. You're going in the high season, where everybody's gone on their summer holidays, so it's going to be more expensive. But also consider that. One thing I forgot to mention earlier when I was talking about the housing is your laundry. If you're there for 6 weeks, you'll probably have to do laundry maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times if you wash more. You can definitely stretch it out by doing some hand washing in between. If you're staying in student housing, then you'll probably have to go to the laundromat, so make sure you consider that cost. So for my guys, I know that you may get a haircut, like maybe like every 2 weeks or something like that. So you're definitely going to need a haircut or two while you're there. Consider how much this is going to cost and allocate money for that. For the ladies, you may have to get your hair done there, maybe a haircut, maybe hairstyling. Consider how much that's going to cost and make sure you allocate money for that. Also allocate money for like miscellaneous things that you may need to get set up. Like say when you first get there, you need an adapter, or you need like, I don't know, a blow dryer that fits with the voltage for that. Also account for miscellaneous. And before I leave you, the last thing that I want to say is that when you're breaking your money up into categories, make sure you overshoot. Say you're going to spend like $20 a week on transport. Budget for $30 a week just in case you have to go further one week or anything like that. And also for, say you go shopping and you get a little bit, you get card happy. You have enough money in other categories that you can pull from and you're not breaking the bank. That's all I have for you. If you're going to be studying abroad for both summer sessions, then also check out the video on long-term study abroad money management, as there are more things that you have to consider.